In this session, we're going to discuss how to manage payables at the enterprise. So what you see on my screen on the right side is one of my locations. This is location number 2. On the left side, you're going to see the enterprise. So I need to explain a little bit detail how it comes from a location to the enterprise and how you're going to end up managing the payable there. So if I go into accounting at the enterprise, down at the bottom left, you're going to see 2 tabs. You're going to see receivables and payables. To pull up all of your payables, you can simply just type in an asterisk, hit enter, and then that will give you a listing of all payable accounts that you're managing at the enterprise. If you want to pull a specific account up, you can just type in part of that name, hit enter, and it'll pull that account up. So it's however you want to do this. Anytime you pull up all the accounts, you can sort. You can sort by number, you can sort by name, you can sort by balance. Whatever you click on the left side, it will show you on the right side. Let me open this up. So what you're going to see at the enterprise is you're going to see a posting date, a due date, the document number, description, amount, clearing or a check column, outstanding, a running balance, and where this came from. In other words, where did the transaction occur at? So you're going to see quite a bit from training number 2. There's some stuff in here that I did in enterprise. And then you'll even see a couple here from training store number 3. You'll notice whenever you click on one on this left side, a lot of this stuff starts to light up here at the top ribbon. So on the left end, search is the same thing as hitting enter in the keyboard. This is just a screen refresh. You can print, email, export, print preview. You can add. So you can add a brand new contact and payable account back here and manage it at the enterprise, or just a payable by itself and then associate contacts to it. If you have not watched the setup for payables yet, please go watch that tour because this really goes into detail on how these are all set up. You can edit an existing contact in here. If I want to put maybe an account number, how it's managed, accounting terms if I wish to change them. Do I want to associate other contacts to this payable account? And which locations it's going to be available at. So if I want to change something, if I say I don't want it at this location anymore, highlight it, and I can delete it. You can delete a payable account. Now the system, even though I click on delete, and if I type in yes, it won't let me delete it unless the account balance is at 0. See, has to have a 0 balance. So at least you won't accidentally delete something. Okay. From this end over where the binoculars are, these are the management tools. The management tools. So we're going to come back to this. But first I want to make sure you understand how do all of these invoices actually end up getting in here. So we're going to kind of slide this over. And let's go back to a location. So at the location level, you're going to have 6 different things that actually are going to go into the payable. 5 of them are located under the purchases. So if I look in purchases, you're going to have bills that can be entered at the location. So if I go to bills, here I have bills that maybe are not posted. Let's see what we have that are not posted yet. We're going to reset here, switch that to all. See if we got anything here. Nope, not anything for this month. Let's look for this year. So here we have a bill from Napa that was back in August. If I open this up, so this is going to be checked, make sure everything is correct, and then it's going to be posted to the payable. So you're going to enter bills here and post them. You're also going to process supplier invoices. These are the invoices for parts that are coming in for inventory, parts that are coming in for work orders, and for sublets on work orders. So if I go to Napa, you see I have a couple of Napa invoices that are waiting to be posted. So if I double click and open it up, I'm going to check everything, make any corrections that I need to make, and then I'm going to post it to the payable. Now that's just letting me know it's over 90 days old. The third item under purchases would be consignment invoices. So if you are going to be doing anything on consignment at a location as your invoice for what you're sold, that'll need to be processed to the payable also. So let's go see what we have here. I hit search. There it is. Open it up. Make any corrections I need to make to this, and then this will be posted to the payable. The fourth item will be return item slips. So anytime I return a part to a vendor, they should be issuing me a credit. Now you notice I've been kind of scrolling down to find Napa. You can also search just by typing the word in. Hit search, see what comes up. Here's a credit invoice that I need to process. Now at this point here, you're going to double check everything. You're going to actually change that slip number to the credit invoice number, whatever that is. Just put credit invoice 99. And then you're going to post it to the payable account. Now, if they're refunding a credit card or if it's going to your bank or check or cash, then you'll change it. But most of the time, it's going to go to the payable. The fifth item here would be any warranty returns, say a labor claim or a part claim, something like that. So anything like that that's going to be under warranty, you'll eventually post it to the payable also. So all 5 of these are going to go to the payable. And then we'll go post them. The 6th item that will also show up in a payable is underneath the utility tab. So if we close up purchases and we go to utilities, you're going to see down here we have what we call a payable quick payment. What this is for is COD. I order some parts from a vendor, parts show up, it's COD, I got to pay for it when they show up. So what your service staff should be doing is coming in here, putting in the dollar amount that they paid for it, who is the vendor. Let's say we got something from Napa. What invoice was it for? So that would be the supplier invoice number. Maybe a little note on what it was, maybe what work order it went on, whatever information, but at least you want the supplier invoice number here. And then how did they pay for it? Okay. So did they pay cash, maybe write a check, use a credit card? So that payment is going to show up in the payable long before the actual supplier invoice will. So one will just end up offsetting the other. Six different items that go to the payables. Now at my location, underneath accounting, if we go in here and pull up all the accounts, you'll see I have multiple payable accounts. Now, typically you can tell a vendor that is enterprise managed by looking for the asterisk. So if you see the asterisk, you know that is going to be enterprise, enterprise, enterprise. So if I go down here to Napa, these will be all of the supplier invoices, any adjustments that came from the enterprise, and payments that I made. You cannot change anything in here. You'll notice this top ribbon. You see how everything is grayed out. There's actually very little function that you can do here. If I want to go look at an invoice or something, I can click on it, go up here, get a copy of it. You can print it and email it. Whatever you do, you cannot undo it. Cannot undo it. If I try to undo this, in other words, I want to reverse this out of here and put it back to the purchases, let's see what happens. So I type in my code. I click on OK. It's going to stop me. And the reason why it stops you is because it's being managed at the enterprise. See, it's unable to do that. Here's an invoice I paid. I can look at the bank transaction. Well, we paid for it with the credit card. But see, I can't do anything else. What is a transaction? Well, that's just all it is. It's what I just posted. So very little management that you can do here. Now, no matter where you go in here, you're always going to have a find. And remember, the find searches any of these columns. So I just pick, what column I want to look in. So let's say I want to look in document number, and I'm looking for document C199. Where is it? Hit find all, click, and then it will highlight it in the background for me. So basically, you're going to use this just to maybe look at a invoice or credit slip, bill, things like that. You can look at the transactions you can find. You won't be doing any management per se here. Now you will be able to pull purged items. So at your enterprise, as you reconcile your payables, you're typically going to purge them so you can purge out all the stuff that's paid in full. Don't need to see months and months of stuff that's paid in full. But if I need to go back and pull up an old invoice here, down at the bottom, you have a little section called Show Purge Transactions. So I can do this at any location, I just check the box, tell it how far back I want to go, and you can go back as far as you want. Let's go back a year. I hit OK. So whatever you see highlighted in gray is letting you know it was purged. See, 0, 0, 0. Now, what if I do need a copy of this invoice? I can still come up here and get a copy of it. So you never really lose anything when you purge it. It's just hiding it from view. So again, very little you can do here. You can't really manage this. It's just mainly just looking at it. So let's go over to the enterprise and see how we manage. So we'll kind of close this one down and bring this up. So again, I can search, I can refresh. That refreshes everything. Print, email, export, PDF, add, edit, delete. Find, I have a search here. can search for whatever I want here. I want to look at a transaction. So you see here I have a supplier invoice that's been paid. So if I look at the transaction, there's the payment, there's the date. Came from the enterprise. See, I made the payment. Sometimes you do have an adjustment here if you need to make an adjustment. You do have an edit. So if we come down here to something a little bit newer, here we have a supplier invoice. If I select edit, I can edit a due date. So if I need to change a due date, I certainly can. I can edit the description if I need to. And you see this little binoculars here. What this feature is for is somehow, some way I got this invoice and I want to move it to a different payable account. Ended up being the wrong payable. So I can go search for a different payable in here. So let's say I'm looking for CarQuest. Select it, hit OK. And when I hit OK here, it's going to pull it from here and move it over to the CarQuest payable. Now, the reason I can do that is because this invoice, the original amount and the outstanding amount are the same. I have not made any credits or payments on this. As soon as I make any type of a payment on this, this will not work. I can edit this, no problem, and I can edit a due date, but not the account. So if I hit OK, it's gone. I refresh. And I'll move it over here. See? Now let's see if we can move that back. I'm going to edit. I'll look for Napa. Select. Hit OK. Hit OK. Gone from CarQuest. Back to Napa. We'll come back to reconcile a little bit. Now, if you just want to come into a payable and make a single payment, you certainly can. You can click on Make a Payment. Select your payment date. You can always backdate or forward date, not a problem. Payment amount. Payment method. Where's the money coming from? So if it's coming from my bank account. Now, if you do not wish to select any items, you don't have to. Let's just say I want to make a $750 payment and I click OK. Then I have a choice here. I can leave it unapplied and go apply it later, or to the oldest outstanding. So if I apply this to the oldest outstanding, I hit OK, and that's what it will do. So what if I want to pay selected ones? Then what I would do is this. You come in and you start picking what you want to pay. It will automatically add it up for you and then make the payment. So when I go to make the payment now, how am I paying? Check or direct? So check is I'm writing a check, printing a check, direct online transfer. Contra allows you to move an invoice or invoices over to a receivable account. Sometimes people will trade back and forth. You might have a supplier you're buying from, but also working on their vehicles, as an example. Whenever you work on their vehicle and bill them, you can put it on a receivable account. Be something like that. You might have a vendor that gives you rebates based off of receivables. A lot of tire dealers do that. So here you're just going to select the date you want to do the contra. What receivable account are you going to move it to? So if I look up Mr. Smith here I have a Johnny Smithy. I pick what invoice or invoices I want to go. It'll add them up. You hit OK. So you see here, we've done the contra payment. See, now that's zeroed out. And when I go over to the receivable and pull up Mr. Smith or Smithy, then I'll see it in the receivable as a credit. And I can do vice versa. I can take an invoice here and contra it to a payable. Apply credits. You notice how this is grayed out. So I have to actually select one. Then I can apply it. Then all I'm doing here is I'm saying, what is the date that I am applying? Here's the amount of the credit. What do I want to apply it to? I might want to apply it to this invoice. Hit save, and now it applies the credit. Manual adjustments. Now the nice thing about adjustments is when you select this, it's going to give you a list of the locations. In other words, I'm going to adjust this to a specific location expense or income. So let's say I want to adjust this to location 2. I hit next. What's the date of the adjustment? Could have been something from Monday. What account do I want it to go to? Maybe I got a bit of a rebate or something. Got a rebate. And how much is the adjustment for? Now, this tax adjustment, especially if you're Canadian, if this tax is off, you can always go adjust it if you need to. You just select it and go adjust it. Select OK, makes the adjustment. So there's my credit. Now that's going to go to the rebate expense account at location 2. You have in here the capability of doing a manual purge. So you can select a specific date. Let's say I want to purge everything through the end of July here. Continue. So now it just purged it. It's only going to purge the things that are paid or cleared in full. I can undo. That reverses it, puts the transactions back. I can also split payment terms. Sometimes we might have a large invoice. Maybe we bought a small piece of equipment or something. So for example, maybe this particular item here, they gave us 60 days, 90 days, whatever to pay it. So once I have it in here, whether it's a bill or an invoice, doesn't matter. I can highlight it. I can split this as many ways as I want. So let's say it's $750. I'm just hitting tab on the keyboard. What's the due date of the first one? And then another $750. And then what's the due date of the second payment? It might be the following Monday. And then the third one, whatever that is. So once I do this and I hit OK, see the originals here. And then if I go down the line, see there's my next one due on 9/14. And then there's my third payment there. If you do a split and you decide you don't want a split, click on it. You got to delete them. You can delete them one at a time. As a matter of fact, each payment is what that is. So I type in yes. Now it's going to delete this 534 and it's going to put it back to the original. Okay. So here's my original one. See, it added it back on there. Here is that second one. So if I want to delete that one, I can delete that also. Very few things you can actually delete in here. So to reconcile, I can do this one of two ways. I can come through here and manually check or clear everything I want to reconcile. I can do this. I can also click reconcile. See, what is my payment date? So let's say I'm paying everything that's billed to me through the end of August. I can do it by due date or post date. So anything posted as of the end of August. That'll give me a grand total on the bottom right. Now, if I'm going through here and I still find stuff that I want to pay, I can do that. Or if I decide I'm not ready to pay something yet, I don't have to. So I can check or uncheck. It'll automatically change the total here. Now, if I cancel this operation, it will save all of this. And then when I come back, it'll already be set. So if I cancel, it'll ask me, do I want to save it? I certainly can. And then when I'm ready to finally reconcile, I'll come in and do it. I click on next. The system does have a switch in there to automatically purge when reconciling, so you don't have to manually do it. So, payment amount, am I paying the whole thing or part of it? Where's the money coming from? I select OK, check, or direct online. So if I'm doing a direct online transfer, I can put a reference number or something like that here and then just hit OK. If I'm writing a check, am I going to print it, send it to the print queue, or manually enter the check number? So now it's paid and purged. Now again, bottom left corner down here, show purge transactions. I can always go up here. I can go back as far as I want. Hit OK. That shows me all the purge transactions at the enterprise payable. So it would be for all locations in the enterprise. See, here's location 3. There's enterprise, location 2. When I'm done, there we go. There is another tab up here called Utilities. It has a batch purge and an undo batch. So if I were to select batch purge, I set my purge date, and this will go through all the accounts. All the accounts. So I say, well, so I'll purge them all as of the end of August. I can do that. Select start. I'll go through and do a purge on all of them. Now to see the change, I gotta refresh this. And then you can also undo. That just reverses all of them. So that is payable management at the enterprise. Also, how does everything get to the enterprise from the location?